Okay, so we're gonna quickly go through the build that is an endgame build in Cyberpunk 2077 2.0 with the Phantom Liberty DLC installed. We will go to settings and show that the game difficulty is set on very hard. It's the hardest difficulty you can set to. And quickly show you just what the gist of the build is. Obviously doing terrible here. But there you go. As you can see, that really took no time at all, and these enemies were down in a couple of seconds. You can do much worse than that. You can literally clear that entire camp in a matter of seconds, doing much better and also being way more artistic about it. But basically this build is broken, to say the least. But if you want to play it, because it is still fun, I will show you how to do it. So this build uses the Errata Katana, of course the latest tier, 5++. You can use the Widowmaker, though not really necessary. You can remove it. It's not really important. It's only for if you want to shoot something from far away. It's only for playing. But then again, the armor on that doesn't matter in 2.0. And now we're gonna go to cyberware. As you can see, cyberware is almost maxed out. So is armor. But the cyberware that's really important, I'm just gonna go through it real quick. And you can just take what I have basically. So, Self-Ice, Mechatronic Core, Quantum Tuner, Biodyne Berserk, Cockatrice Optics, and this is not important, this is what you get in the main story. Also, Tattoo, not important, this is also not important, it's an empty slot. Actually, it's locked. Heal on Kill, Adrenaline Booster, Micro Rotors, Reinforced Tendons, Peripheral Inverse, Pain Editor, Carapace, Stabber, Reflex Tuner, Adrenaline Converter, Epimorphic Skeleton, Bionic Joints, Dense Marrow, and Electrifying Projectile Launch System. Now, if you want to have this build without filling every slot, because obviously you won't be able to in the mid-game or beginning of the game because your cyber capacity is just not going to be that high, you can remove most of these things. You can actually remove all of them except the most important ones. So for example, the most important one is the operating system, Biodyne Berserk. You can also go with the Sandevistan, the Militech Apogee Sandevistan. It's good if you want to do slow-mo instead of just invulnerability, but in my case here, why this build is so strong is, as you can see, 100% crit chance, 100% crit damage and 20% crit chance. It's that alone that make this build really powerful. The strong attacks is basically why it's there. So you can only go with the, you can, if you want to do it without the the all of the other stuff, because you don't have cyberware yet, you can just go with Biodyne Berserk, Quantum Tuner, Cockatrice, and one of these three. Double jump, not that important, but you can take it. It's not really that expensive. Then you have Pain Editor and Peripheral Inverse, not that important. Reflex Tuner, probably one of the first ones you should get because it saves your ass every time you go low health. And it slows down time, and it's one of the best, probably one of the best ones to keep you alive. That's your main survivability cyberware right there. So Reflex Tuner, Biodyne Berserk, and Quantum Tuner, probably the first three that I would go for before I go for anything else. So if you're running low on cyberware, go for these three. Now, Quantum Tuner is only possible to get if you have a certain ending to the DLC. It will only become available at the very end of it if you've done a certain ending, and that's the sending Song Mi to the moon, and it does come quite a few hours later after you've done that, so you have to wait a little bit. That's the only one that comes after, so you can swap this one for Newton module before you have it. It kind of does the same thing. You can even go for axolotl. Does the same thing. Very similar, so if you don't have Quantum Tuner yet, you can swap that out. But Biodyne Berserk and the Militech Apogee Sandevistan you'll get pretty early in the game, so you'll be able to do this build even without the Quantum Tuner. Anyway, if we go to the skills, now I'm not going to go through them. I'm just going to show you the sheet and you can kind of copy. This is the body. It's all about survivability. The reflexes, all about movement and swordplay. This one is all about cyberware and increasing it. And probably worth mentioning, taking the bomb is one of the good ones here, because it reduces 50% incoming damage, which is huge. Plus it does insane amount of damage when it procs. So a great perk here. People often don't take it, but take it. This is a really good perk. The rest here doesn't really matter. You don't even have to invest into the tech weapons tree here. It's not really important. All you have to worry about is this left side of it. Cool, again, doesn't matter what you take here. Intelligence doesn't matter what you take. And Relic, if you're just leveling up and you're in the DLC, just take the vulnerability analytics and machine learning. These are the first that you should take. They're the most important because the vulnerability gives you 100% crit chance. It's pretty damn good, especially machine learning afterwards. It can stack and double and all that stuff. This is good stuff here. So bottom right. And the rest, yeah, the rest doesn't really matter. You can use the some different katanas. Byakko is a good katana, but Arata katana, the reason why it's good is it because you allows you to leap towards enemies, and when the enemies are burning, you have a guaranteed crit chance, and it guarantees crit damage. So every time you hit a burning enemy, it's gonna do guaranteed crit damage. And if you look at your crit damage, it is 66%. But once you pop this thing, if you go to the stats again, you can see it's 266.95 crit damage. It is way higher, and it's going to increase much more. So you hit someone with this. See, I'm already popping the pulse. You hit someone with this, it's going to kill them very quickly. Now I want to find someone here that I can kill. For example, these guys here. See, I'm not even using the military yet. Not using it. Now I am. And they pretty much all died. The last guy died there because of the pulse. And there you go, they're all dead. And I have barely done anything. Quantum Tuner already resetted the cooldown on my biotech. And that's that's it. That's pretty much it. So yeah, this build is an endgame build. It is quite insane, but you can use it. Not to mention the movement here. I mean, look at this. It's huge. It's super fast. Because yeah, I haven't used my Berserk at all. Again, I had that at the end, but see, not really needed. And people are dying around me just because of the pulse. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I'll finish the last guy off. Alright, that's it.